Hi everybody, today I'm going to take you through ACC, Adaptive Cruise Control, something that's been requested by one of our viewers. So we're going to go through it today, show you how it works, explain the system in a little bit more detail and go from there. So first things first, the ACC, the way it works is there's a sensor on the front of the vehicle and that's monitoring what's in front of you. So if it can't detect anything that's in front of you, obviously it will stay at whatever speed you set. Now as soon as something becomes in front of that, so you approach another vehicle, the vehicle can detect that and slow you down so that you actually stay with that vehicle as you're following it that's on there. So where traditional cruise control, you just keep going at that speed regardless of what's in front of you. So in theory you could crash the car. This will actually slow you down, keep you in pace with the vehicle in front. Then when that moves away, you'll then obviously they'll accelerate back to the speed you were at. So it's kind of like a hybrid. It's the best of both worlds. I've never been a huge fan of cruise control personally, mainly because you're having to stop and start it when I do my main journeys, which is at night and first thing in the morning. ACC I love, to be honest with you. I wasn't sure at the start, but obviously I've got more into it now, and especially on things like motorway where you've got roadworks, really good. Set it at 50 miles an hour. Don't have to worry about it. You can just sit back and relax, and it just takes a bit of that pressure off, I suppose, when you're doing it as well. So the easiest way to show you this is actually get out on the road, and we'll show how it works in reality. So to turn your ACC on, turn the on button on there, and that will then bring up on your display in the middle, and then you can change by pressing the middle button here, which is your distances. You can then change on the dash, and it will change between the different distances. So closest to the vehicle in front, and then gradually farther away, and that's the distance between the vehicle and you. So if you're traveling at high speed, you'd want it obviously a fair distance apart. If it's a more low speed driving that you're doing, you might want it closer to you, and it's a case of you determining which you think is best. For today's purposes, we're going to go in the middle. So once you get to speed, so once you've got to say 50-60 miles an hour, you just press the set button, and that would then set it at the speed which you're actually doing. Obviously it'll only work when we're driving, we'll show you that. If it turns itself off, so for example you've pressed the brake or anything like that and it's deactivated, you press the resume button, which will then take you back to the speed at which you set up before. So say for example 60 miles an hour, set to there. And if you want to cancel it off, you can just press the cancel button on the side. And to turn the whole system off is the opposite of before, and just turn the zero that's there at the side as well. So I hope that makes sense, and let's go out for a drive. So we're on a dual carriageway now, and I'm actually going to set the ACC. So I'm just going to press the set button. It's currently 39 miles an hour. So my feet are off the pedals, and we're just travelling at 39 miles an hour. There's a vehicle in front of us. And the distance is set to halfway, so I can see the traffic lights ahead are on red. The vehicle should start to slow down, so the vehicle in front is slowing down, we're slowing down. I'm actually not even touching the brake at all, and the vehicle is coming all the way down, and then obviously need to stop. Now, just using that as an example, I wouldn't do that in reality when you're coming up to traffic lights with your ACC on that's on there. I was just trying to show the fact that it does slow down for the vehicles that are in front of you. Now we're back up the dual carriageway after the lights, so I'm going to press resume this time, and again that's switched on the ACC control. It's set to 39 miles an hour, so I'm going to use these plus and minus buttons now to increase up to 60 miles an hour. Which is the speed limit along the dual carriageway here. Now I'm just going to show you what happens if you move back into a lane here, because obviously there's a car quite close to us there. So if we move back in, the system's now following that car which is in front of us. We're at 60 miles an hour, so the limiter's kicked in, so it's not going to go any faster now than we are. So we're behind the vehicle at the moment that's in front. This vehicle's doing less than 60 miles an hour, so we're doing less than 60 miles because we're following it. So I'm going to overtake the vehicle now by indicating and pulling out, and as soon as I indicate and pull out, the vehicle now is accelerating away back up to 60 miles an hour. I'm going to overtake the vehicle. So that was a more detailed look at how ACC Adaptive Cruise works. I hope that all makes sense to you as well. If it's not, if you're not quite sure about, pop it in the comments box below. The big thing I like to say with ACC is have a practice somewhere when you're out and about. It's mainly designed for dual carriageways and motorways. That's what really works effectively. Remember that it's monitoring what's in front of you. So if you've got it set at 60 miles an hour, for example, on a dual carriageway, and you're only doing 30 or 40 because there's traffic in front of you and that traffic disappears, or you pull out, to change around. It will then obviously take you back to 60-70 miles an hour at quite a rate. It's just little things like that which once you got to know it and you know the system, really good, but there's just a few little things like that just to bear in mind as well. So hope you enjoyed today's video. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe. Click the bell button so that you get notifications of when we post, and I'll see you again soon.